The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages that we cover. This week we'll start with Rick Milne. Rick, what's going on in Honeoye Falls?
Well, Chris, thanks again as always, and happy holidays to everyone. This is just such a busy time of the year. It's a great time of the year, but as we were talking before we started, it just becomes very hectic. And I think many of us, as much as we enjoy the holidays, sometimes we look forward to the holidays being over to get back into the swing of normalcy, if you will. But it's been great, and we hope everyone's had a great holiday. So like starting off with the Village of Honeoye Falls, like many, the Village of Honeoye Falls municipal government continues to move through the holiday season. Some of our staff members are off on vacation. So with a short staff, we generally maintain business and work to get caught up on projects and planning as the new year looms close. We hope that all have been able to enjoy the celebrations of the season, or possibly even slow down and take a breath as business may pause a bit towards the end of December and into the new year. And this can often be a good time to refocus your goals and direction. For the village staff, we will continue to focus on areas that we may fall short and always look to improve on areas that we need to, while working to make sure the areas we feel that we excel in, we don't fall backwards. Areas of concentration for 2025 will certainly continue to be emergency services, as this is always changing. Staffing for the fire department, which we've talked a lot about this year, is key to ensure we have the ability to respond to emergencies, and this will continue to be a priority effort that we cannot allow to be buried underneath false hope of a large increase in volunteerism. We just don't see that happening. So, and no matter what direction we go moving forward regarding staffing, a building upgrade, and the need to begin to replace apparatus that are over 20 years old are key needs that can't be ignored. A positive aspect is that we've been working to develop a needs assessment and prioritize where we're able to. So we're going to continue to focus on the emergency services for sure. Another area of concern for the village is our wastewater treatment plant. This facility is the key component of our community infrastructure. Because of excellent planning, positive maintenance scheduling, and upkeep, this facility has won awards and is extremely well run. We thank our incredible staff for their diligent work. However, the infrastructure is over 80 years old and is beginning to have failures within the system that will only get worse. There have been some upgrades and system improvements over the past 20 years. However, over the last 10 years, we've been focusing on the need for a new wastewater treatment plant. This is critical to maintain our current wastewater sewer needs, along with the positive development that we're seeing now within the village. The current estimate for this new system is just about $10 million. The goal is to obtain as much grant funding as possible, and to that end, in 2023, we were awarded a $2.3 million grant, which we will expect to utilize for formal planning aspects. We will also apply and look for further program funding grants so that this cost does not fall fully on our local residents and businesses. This, along with maintaining our sidewalks, streets, parks, and striving to continually improve the community while supporting the needs of our dedicated staff and understand the need to increase that staff as we grow, is a challenge before us. The village board and staff look forward to this challenge and seeing the positive results within the community. Moving on to Monroe County, for the Monroe County Legislature, with a budget that has been passed, we now look forward to moving forward with approved programs that benefit all of our Monroe County residents and all of our Monroe County communities. For the past 2 years, I've been working with the New York State DOT regarding concerns of the Clover Street Stony Lonesome Road intersection. And all along the way, Supervisor John Moffett has been supportive in these inquiries. While we still have a long way to go, I'm happy to report that we are indeed having what I believe are very positive dialogue with the DOT regarding this area. Earlier this week, the supervisor and I, along with Councilman Rozek, Highway Superintendent Kasheta, and HFFD Assistant Chief Zavitz, met with DOT officials for a conversation, some brainstorming, and I believe we will make positive progress along this stretch of road that is considered a high accident area for the Honeoye Falls Fire Department and Honeoye Falls Mendon Volunteer Ambulance. Again, this is a long process, but very positive dialogue in a very tough area. As I stated earlier, the Monroe County budget is completed. It has been passed. It's a very complex and diverse budget, but I'm happy to say that the full legislature voted to approve the budget unanimously, 29-0, in a bipartisan effort to support the greater Monroe County area. We know that no budget, large or small, is perfect. There are always areas from an individual or even a partisan aspect can be improved. That is certainly the nature of the beast. However, while legislators may not all agree 100%, the focus to maintain and improve on public safety is generally always agreed upon. The focus on the county support of Monroe Community Hospital and Monroe Community College are two extremely important areas that most legislators agree upon as well. Supporting the needs of our seniors, our veterans, our youth are areas that we are proud to support, as well as many other different agencies financially supported by Monroe County. As we pass through the balance of 2024 and move into 2025, I ask that you continue to support your local municipalities, whether that be a village, a town, a county, or all of the above. Your engagement is important. Your input is important. Your support of your local community and your neighbors are extremely important. Should you have any questions for me that are village related, my village email is mayor@villageofhoneoyefalls.org. And should you have questions that pertain more to the County of Monroe, my email for the legislature is legislatormilne@gmail.com. I always try to respond within a day or two when possible. And again, I appreciate your support. And again, continue to support your local municipalities. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks, Rick. Well, we'll give John a chance to get his video stabilized while I read for Mike Falk, who wasn't able to show up live, but he did bring in his comments here. Looking back on the year in Lima, we have definitely moved forward in positive ways. The Livingston County Light Up Livingston project along the Village of Lima internet project has started to show results. Connections to high-speed fiber internet have begun. It is now a matter of not if, but when the service is available at all addresses in Lima and the rest of Livingston County. Our library has added the Saturday hours that you asked for. Stop in and see what's new there. Carpet replacement will be happening in the library in 2025. If you would like to help out by adopting a full room of carpet, contact librarian Leslie Raymond at 585-582-1311 for details. The regiment project is complete. The grand opening was December 21st at Lima Legion Post 282. The computer terminals are available for veterans not only to connect with other vets through gaming, but to interact with the VA for medical appointments, benefits, and so much more. Helping to mitigate veteran suicide is the least we can do. Thank you to everyone who donated and worked to bring this project to fruition. Looking forward to 2025, we are in the best place possible to provide public water to those who need it, provide the high-speed internet access needed to work from home on those difficult travel days, and enjoy each other's company at our events and festivals. Happy New Year to you and yours, and I will see you around town. That was from Mike Falk. Now it's over to John Moffett. What's going on in Mendon?
Well, wanted to bring up a couple of items. First of all, our situation with the dogs that were captured by our dog control officer, Joel Taylor. Joel, unfortunately, passed away recently, and we certainly miss Joel and want to thank him for all of his years' service to the town of Mendon as our dog control officer. With the help of Corey Gates, our code enforcement officer, and Kevin Jungi, who is our buildings and grounds, they were able to capture the dogs up off of number 6 road near Route 15A. We went through an extensive job of trying to find the owners. It became clear to us after a certain amount of time that the owners were not going to be found, and we had them put into a kennel. At that point, we had to do a lot of research. I wanted to thank the town of Hamlin for helping us and their dog control officer, and New York State Ag and Markets, Lollipop Farm, as well as, of course, the adopting family. The adopting family is not in Mendon, however, they're in a neighboring community, and they have now successfully adopted the dogs. We made sure that we followed all the rules and regulations surrounding the adoption, and we're really happy that this was the outcome, although it did have a lot of curves in the road to get to that point, but it was worth it. I also want to mention to everyone to please license your dogs. If your dog is spayed and neutered, it's a $6 fee annually. And if your dog is not spayed or neutered, it's $15. Our goal with the town of Mendon has always been to get the dog back to the owner as quickly as possible. Enforcement is not part of our normal operating procedure. Our operating procedure is how fast can we get this dog back home to its family. And of course, chip the dogs. The one dog that we found was chipped. However, the chip was never registered, so that was a dead end because we did follow up on the number of the chip to try to find the owner that way, and that turned into a dead end as well. Other things I want to mention is that the town of Mendon has its organizational meeting on Monday, January 6th, 7 o'clock at Mendon Town Hall for anyone who would like to attend or attend virtually. Also, there's the menorah lighting on January 1st and the village parking lot, which is adjacent to the town hall. Please consider attending that show of support from our community, regardless of your religious beliefs, shows tolerance of everyone. And in this season, whether it be religious tolerance, political tolerance, or any kind of thing like that, it's important that everyone shows that to show what type of community we have. Also, on the negative side of things, the tax bills will be coming out the first of the year. That is your county and town tax bill. You should receive it no later than January 6th, unless you are escrowed and that tax bill goes to your mortgage company. If you do not receive it by January 6th and you expect you should have, please contact Michelle Booth, the Mendon Town Clerk, and she will look into it, get you a copy of it if necessary. For the town side of things, our rate was flat, so unless your assessment changed or you have some type of other mitigating circumstances, you should see that your town rate remained relatively flat. Sometimes it's off by a penny or two in the final bill, but the rate is flat. And that about covers it for the town of Mendon. Want to wish everybody a happy new year, and we look forward to 2025.
All right. Thanks, John. Over to Steve in the town of Henrietta. What's happening in Henrietta, Steve?
Things are going well. We wrapped up our union contract negotiations. It goes to vote to the union on Monday, the 30th, as well as to the town board at the same time. A lot of work went into that. One of the things we have to balance the needs of our employees with the needs of our taxpayers. So it's always interesting challenge, but I think we did a good job and got to a really good contract. We're starting roof repairs for Town Hall on Monday. We recently discovered that the insulation and tapering of the flat roof has completely collapsed. We had started to see some leaks, and when we went up there to investigate, the deterioration recently has accelerated. And so we are doing, I'll kind of describe it as an emergency roof repair, although again, it's not quite that bad. We just want to make sure we take care of it before we don't want to go through the winter with this issue. So the tear off starts Monday. We were able to reach out to Senator Cooney's office, and he was able to get us a SAM grant to assist with the cost, because to replace all the roof, it's about just under $400,000. So very appreciative of his efforts on our behalf, because again, this was an unexpected expense that was discovered after the budget process was done. Spray park construction went along very well. Most of the stuff is in. It's paused now until the spring. We didn't see the point in charging the system with water only to have to then immediately drain it. But if you go by there, you'll see the building's largely in. We haven't put the fixtures in yet, again, for the same reason. But excited to get that going in the spring and should be ready to operate as soon as the nice weather's here. Good Shepherd Hall renovations are continuing. We have upgraded two of the, well, there used to only be a single restroom. There will now be three, including one that is fully accessible, as well as accessible entrances, and just a huge renovation of the interior itself, as the building could use some updating. It will be rentable like a cabin. We just added it to our rental schedule, rate schedule. So probably starting in the spring, people will be able to rent the hall again, similar to a cabin, although because of its size, it'll be about double the cost of a cabin. We intentionally set the non-resident price a good amount higher than the resident price, because we expect it to be in high demand, and we want to make sure there's good opportunity for residents to be able to use it. We expect it for things like milestone birthdays, graduation parties, weddings, bar mitzvahs, things like that. So excited to get that fully online. We just started the design of 3 new projects, one of which was an unfunded mandate from the state. You've probably heard by now, the Department of Ag and Markets has put out new requirements for municipal dog shelters that have made most people's dog shelters non-compliant. So we will have to build a new dog shelter. We're taking the opportunity to enlarge it because we had a number of instances last year where we had more dogs than we had kennels in the shelter. So, and we are also working with local smaller towns. It would be very difficult for those small towns to build their own shelters. So we're working out a intermunicipal agreement that will allow some of our smaller town neighbors, like Rush, and Wheatland is also interested. Rush has already passed their town board has made the decision to join on. Wheatland, that decision is in January. So we're getting started on that design, and we've also are going after a grant to help fund that. We'll also be doing the design of a new clubhouse for our golf course. The plan is that once we have the design, we will go out to essentially get the cost estimates to build it. And then the idea is that the rent for a restaurant to operate at the clubhouse, because it's essentially going to be a restaurant and pro shop, that the rent should cover essentially the mortgage to build the clubhouse. So, and then the third one is an expansion to our senior center. Monroe County had some ARPA funds left over and decided to distribute those to the towns for use to expand programming and facilities for either seniors or youth. And we're using some to add some accessible playground equipment at our main playground, but the majority of the funds will be used to expand our senior center. As our population has been aging, we've been at or over capacity for our senior lunches. And so this will add significant space for them to eat, as well as we are expanding the kitchen, because again, as the numbers of people participating in the lunches have grown, we've needed more kitchen space. So very excited about that. And from a event standpoint, we had a very successful Holiday Lights and Magic event earlier in December, very well attended. And then last night we had our menorah lighting, second annual menorah lighting ceremony. So even greater attendance than the year before. And so both those traditions have been going strong. Our Martin Luther King celebration is set for 7 p.m. Thursday, January 16th. And look forward to having that. That's been a long running tradition. It's the town of Henrietta and Rush with the Interracial Clergy Council and the Interfaith Councils put that on. So as well as the Rush Henrietta School District. So it's a great event. It also includes scholarships that are given out each year. And finally, our newsletter's out. It's at the printers. It should be getting to the post office soon. It was a bit delayed, largely because we had to finish up a bunch of end of year stuff, including the union contract. But it's been at the printers for about 2 weeks now, so I'm expecting it to get to the post office any day now. So keep an eye out for that. That's about it.
All right. Thanks, Steve. John or Rick, do you have anything more to add? Okay. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Remember, this program airs every Sunday at 1 p.m. on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Like the page and subscribe to the channel, and those platforms will notify you when this show begins to be broadcast. Otherwise, you can read the transcript in next week's paper. That's all for now. Have a happy new year, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye for now.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.